Hey, Benchmark Bible Church. August is a special month in that it marks the 12-year anniversary from when God laid on our hearts to start Benchmark Bible Church. And here we are, launching ministries into the fall. We're very excited about all that God is doing. One of the questions I get a lot is, Chris, why don't you talk more about giving in your sermons? And the reason for that is because if it's not in the text, I typically don't run to it or talk about it. And so this morning, as we launch a giving campaign through August and September of this year, I wanted to talk a little bit about giving and why we give. Questions I often get are why would somebody give to a campaign to retire debt? Well, let me give you 3 reasons why giving is such an important thing and how we should actually give. You know, the Bible tells us that we are to give sacrificially. And what sacrificially means, it doesn't mean recklessly. It just means that we give in such a way that we are not holding back what we know God wants us to give away. So that's point number 1, give sacrificially. Number 2, I think it's important for people to give proportionally. In other words, think about how God commanded the Jews to give. They were to give 10% of their first fruits. They had a whole list of things that they were to give from, but God gave them a number, a proportion to give away to ministries, to the church, or to the Levites as a whole in the Jewish ministry. And so we want to give proportionally, thinking about what God is giving us and recognizing that it's a sacrifice from our lives to give. Point number 3 is we need to be giving with a cheerful heart. You know, God doesn't want us to give out of compulsion or even in bitterness. As a matter of fact, I would even say if anyone is bitter about giving, they should not give, but to go back to the Lord in prayer and ask Him, God, what do you want me to do? How do I give to you? And what does my heart need to be in giving? It needs to be cheerful, Lord. So how do I get there? And remember, Jesus said in Luke chapter 6 that we are to give and the Lord will give back, pressing it down, shaking it together in such a way that it'll be overflowing. So as we jump into this giving campaign, remember, you're not just giving to retire debt. You're giving so that the church can launch ministries, the church can pay and support more missionaries. We can give money away from a benevolent standpoint. We can hire people to further the gospel of Jesus Christ. And remember, God has given so much to us, so let's give back to Him in such a way that it shows our great love for all that He's done. I love you guys. Have a great week.